Hi dear, today we'll see about this lymph. Lymph. Okay, what is lymph? Okay, this lymph is one of the circulatory system for transportation process. Okay, in the last class we have seen about this capillaries, no, the smallest vessel, right? The smallest vessel where the exchange of material is taking place. Okay, I said it has some pores. Okay, I'm going to draw it magnify to show that what is happening actually in the capillaries. The capillaries will not be this much broad, right? It is very thin vessels. Okay, thin vessel. It is called capillary. So the blood is flowing here. So it has some pores. Okay, it has some pores. Through this pores, all the exchange of material is happening, we said, right? So this is your blood and exchange of materials is happening here. Okay, so where it will be ended? It will be ended at the near the cells, right? For example, these are the cells. Okay, all these cells, if the cells are doing the same function, similar cells are joined together to form what? Similar cells will join together to form tissue, right? Okay, while exchange of materials, that is gas or nutrients or anything, some of the during this when before it reaches this cell, some of the plasma, the blood contains plasma, right? Plasma, some of the water, some of the protein, okay, etc. Some of these kinds will be escaped into the this for example all these cells together to form a tissue. For example, this is a tissue. Okay, everything will be absorbed by the cell. Something will be escaped in the space between the cells. Okay, some of the fluid, that is your plasma, some of the protein, water will be escaped in the space between the cells, right? Okay, something is escaped from the space, right? This escaped thing, this escaped fluid is called your lymph. Okay, because it is lymph, it will be pale yellow in color. Why? Because here this blood contains red blood cells, right? RBC. Here I forgot to mention some of the WBC will be escaped in the bed, right? It contains some RBC. Because of this RBC, hemoglobin content, the hemoglobin content is here in the RBC, right? These size will be greater than the size of the pores. So all the RBC will be here within the cells, within the capillaries only. Only the fluid, water, protein and some of the WBCs will be escaped through these pores, through the capillaries. Okay. So whatever escaped in the space between the cells, this is called your lymph. Since there is no RBC, the color of this plasma is light yellow color, right? It will be light yellow, pale yellow in color. Okay, this is called lymph. Okay, so here this tissue contains some liquid. Lymph is there. What happened to this? Since it is all escaped through all this thing, this blood will be thickened. It contains only RBC and platelets. Okay, the blood will be thickened. If you have enough volume of blood, then only it can flow, right? If the blood is very thick and without fluid, means it will not flow, right? So we have to bring all the escaped fluid back to this capillaries, right? Who will bring that? This lymph capillaries. Okay, so wherever the capillaries are there, you can see the lymph capillaries. Lymph capillaries, it has some overlapping structure like this. Here this end is closed. Okay, here it is overlapping like this. No, through this overlapping it will be enter this lymph. Okay, I'll draw in a magnified manner. For example, it will be like this. It will be like this, overlapping. So through this opening it will enter this whatever escaped in the here in the bed tissue it will be enter this. Once it enter, it will not escape, okay, because it is working as a wall like structure. So this one of the end is closed, and all the capillaries, wherever the blood capillary is there, there will be lymph capillaries. All the capillaries join together to form a big vessel that is called lymph vessel. That is called what? Lymph vessel. Okay, and where this will be taken, and this lymph vessel, I said it is only one way flow, it will not flow in the backward direction. So everything will be drained to the lymph vessel, and all this lymph vessel, whatever is it carrying, it drains to vein. Okay, it is connected to the vein. From the vein, it is taken back to the heart and then to the blood. Okay, clear on this? Okay, this is your lymph. Lymph is nothing but, since it is present on the tissue, it is called tissue fluid. It can be said like that. Okay, while moving, I said some of the WBCs will be there, right? If any microorganisms are present, for example during this flow, the microorganisms are here. Okay, microorganisms are here. If they found any microorganism, what happens means all the WBC will be collected here. Everyone will enter this place, and this place becomes swollen like this. Okay, because all the WBC will come to this place, and it will engulf or it will kill this microorganism. Okay, during that time you can see this, you will have some node. This node is called lymph node. While you are going for this any cold related problem, the doctors usually used to touch your behind your ears, no, behind your ears, and he'll check for any nodes are present near your neck. Okay, most of the micro infections will be there only. They can feel if any nodes or bulge things is like they found that there is some infection. So that's why you got the swollen place like this. Once it is clear, then it comes to the normal position. Okay, this is a lymph node. Till it kills the microbes, everything, all the WBC will enter this place, and because of this WBC, it will be swollen here. Once it is clear, then it will be moved to the next place. Okay, so this is your lymph node. So what are the functions of lymph? Now you come to know that it clears the lymph from the tissue, right? It clears the lymph from the tissue. It helps in the bringing back the fluid to the blood capillaries, right? All the fluids will be drained here, right? Not all. Okay, the fluids, some of the fluids which are escaped, it make the blood thicken. Okay, so it has to bring it back to the same place. How? All the lymph capillaries join together to form a lymph vessel, and it drains out in the vein, so it enters the blood circulatory system. Okay, and one more part is it fight against the microorganism. It helps in the immune system. And one more thing is, when it is near the small intestine, some of the fats bigger in size will not be absorbed through the capillaries. Okay, so but these fats also be can be taken by the lymph capillaries and then sent to the blood vessels. Okay, clear on this? So we'll see the notes about this. That's all with this lymph. Lymph is one of the circulatory system which involved in transportation. Okay, like blood circulatory system, lymph is also a circulatory system. It is light yellow fluid called lymph or tissue fluid. It is light yellow in color. Why? Because the RBC is not present there. It is formed when blood flows in the capillaries. Some amount of plasma, protein and blood cells, that is your WBC. Here the blood cells they mentioned WBC. Okay, some of the water also escapes into the intercellular space in the tissue. Okay, it does not contain RBC and blood platelets. Okay, the lymph drains into the blind tubes. Why it is called blind tubes? I said one of the end is closed and all the capillaries join together to form a big vessel, lymph vessel, and it is drained to the veins, right? Here it is open to vein, here it is closed. If one end is closed, it is called blind tubes. Okay, if one end of a tube is closed means it is called blind tubes. The lymph drains into the blind tubes called lymph capillaries. Okay, the lymph drains into the lymph, the water, the liquid fluid drains into the blind tubes called lymph capillaries. So all the lymph capillaries join together to form a big vessel, that is lymph vessel, and it is drained to the open to veins. Okay, the lymph capillaries join to form a large lymph vessel that finally opens into larger veins. Okay, next one, the place where lymph vessels are swollen are called lymph nodes. The fight against the microorganism, right? It flows only in one direction from tissue to heart, right? Tissue to heart, it flows only from one direction from tissue, because it's formed in the tissue bed only, right? It flows only in one direction from tissue to heart. This is your lymph. Okay, I hope you understand. Thank you.